if we wouldn't have started to burn fossil fuels, the plants would have started dying in about 500 years. So he actually believes that the fossil fuel revolution saved the planet. Wow. Yeah, right. Now you think, well, no. It's like, well, wait a minute. Where did all this climate apocalypse nonsense come from? Well, it was fundamentally pushed by the Club of Rome types starting in the 1960s who said, there's too many people on the planet. We're all going to starve to death by the year 2000. Commodity prices are going to shoot through the roof because there's not enough of everything. Right? That was, what the hell's his name? Paul Ehrlich wrote The Population Bomb, and he made a famous bet with Simon, Julian Simon. Sure, it's Julian. Might be Herbert. You guys, excuse me for
Thursday. Look it up.
Yeah. I think it's Julian. Anyways, a polymath, Simon, brilliant man, an absolutely brilliant man. He bet Ehrlich that he was not only wrong but opposite. He said to Ehrlich, "You pick a bundle of commodities.
Yeah."
We'll bet 20 years in the future," it was something like 20 years. "I bet the prices go down. You think they'll go through the stratosphere." They made a bet, famous bet, $200, not a lot. Well, Simon collected because by the year 2000, not only was there not mass starvation, there were far fewer hungry people in the world, and all the commodity prices went down because that zero-sum Malthusian view, that's like, you're an idiot biologist if you're a Malthusian. Why? So Malthus was the clergyman who proclaimed that unconstrained, a population will grow until it consumes more than the available resources, and then it will collapse. Okay. It's like, well, that works for yeast in a petri dish. Okay. We're not yeast. We learn. It's the wrong biological model, and not just a little bit. Like, it's seriously wrong. There's nothing more brutal than a zero-sum game ideology. There's not enough for everyone. Oh yeah, really? Is that a fact? There's not, eh? So who doesn't get what they need? Well, the bloody greens, though, nature worshippers, it's like, well, let's screw the poor. They don't need the wealth we have in the West. They don't get fossil fuels. It's inexcusable.
So who's pushing it, and why are they pushing it?
Who's pushing it?
The climate change.
Cynical anti-humanists possessed by the resentful spirit of Cain, socialists, communists, and people who worship nature. And I mean that in a very specific sense. I mean, look, the Irish government is planning to cull 200,000 cows. Why? To change the weather. This is where we're at. The nature worshippers sacrifice cattle to change the weather. Right. We're right back in pagan times. And they are definitely nature worshippers. It's like, this word, the environment. What the hell is that?
Yeah.
The environment. That's Gaia. That's the new female deity that we sacrifice children to. The environment. You have to save the environment. What the hell is the environment? What does that mean? I grew up in northern Alberta. What was the environment? You go out in the bush in the spring in northern Alberta, you'll run smack dab into the environment, all right. Clouds of mosquitoes and black flies. You'll be one miserable little primate, no time flat. Isn't it beautiful? It's like it is if it's what would you call it? An impressionist painting of the French countryside.
Yes. Yeah. I'm from Australia. A lot of deadly animals. They're not fun.
Nature. Right. Nobody lives in Australia, right? Except on the coast, clinging to the edge of the continent because everything else is so formidable.
I've heard that in Ireland they